You finally did it. After years of grinding, saving every dollar, saying no to trips, driving the old car, living in the cheaper apartment, you open your investment app and there it is. $100,000. 6 figures. The number you've been chasing since you first learned what financial security meant. You screenshot it, you stare at it, you refresh the app just to make sure it's real. And then you wait for the feeling, the relief, the freedom, the sense that you finally made it. But it doesn't come. Instead, you feel anxious. You start doing math in your head. 100,000 sounds like a lot, but it's not enough to retire, not enough to buy a house in most cities, not enough to quit your job, not even enough to feel truly safe if something goes really wrong. You hit the number everyone said would change everything, and somehow, nothing changed. Welcome to the $100,000 illusion. Here's what nobody tells you about crossing into 6 figures. The moment you hit 100,000, you don't level up. You unlock a completely different game, with different rules, different enemies, and a different definition of winning. And most people lose this new game in the first 18 months without even realizing they're playing it. According to Fidelity's 2024 retirement savings data, the average 401k balance for Americans in their 40s is about $127,000. The median? $43,000. That gap tells you everything. Most people never break through 6 figures, and the ones who do? Most get stuck there for a decade. If you've actually hit 100,000, you're already ahead of 70% of the country, way ahead. But that lead disappears in 6 months if you don't understand what just changed. My name is Finn, and I'm obsessed with the psychology of money after you stop living paycheck to paycheck. Everyone online keeps repeating the same line. Just get to 100,000, then compounding takes over, and you're set. That's not wrong, but it's dangerously incomplete. The complete truth? 100,000 is where the real test begins. And what happens between 100,000 and 150,000 determines whether you build actual wealth or spend the next 20 years stuck in the same place, wondering why 6 figures still feels like you're losing. This video is about that gap. Why 150,000 is the actual threshold where your life changes, and the 3 enemies waiting to destroy your progress before you get there. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't personal financial advice. I'm just someone who's read every study I can find about how people actually behave with money. Use this as education, not as instructions for your exact situation. For real financial decisions, talk to a professional. Let's start with the enemy nobody sees coming. You know what's wild about hitting $100,000? It's the exact moment your brain stops thinking like someone who needs to save money and starts thinking like someone who deserves to spend it. Let me show you how fast this happens. Month 1, after hitting 6 figures, you're still disciplined, still careful, you hit the number, so you're not changing anything yet. Month 3, you start noticing things. Your car is 12 years old. Your apartment is small. You haven't taken a real vacation in 4 years. You have $100,000. Maybe it's time to finally enjoy some of it. Month 6, you upgrade. Not crazy upgrades, reasonable ones. You move to a nicer apartment. Same neighborhood, just a better unit. Rent goes from $1,400 to $1,900 a month. $500 increase. Totally justifiable for someone with 6 figures saved. You replace the old car, not with something flashy, just something reliable that won't break down. A 3-year-old certified pre-owned, $32,000, financed at 4.5% over 5 years, monthly payment, $597. You start living a little, ordering delivery twice a week instead of cooking. Better coffee, a few subscriptions, premium gym, Spotify, Netflix, and Hulu and HBO because you can finally afford not to choose. None of it feels reckless. You're not buying a Rolex, you're not flying first class, you're just finally living like someone who isn't broke anymore. But let's add it up. Rent increase, $500 a month, $6,000 a year. Car payment, $597 a month, $7,164 a year. Lifestyle upgrades, conservatively $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Total annual increase, $16,764. Now, here's the part that destroys people. At $100,000 invested, earning 8% annually, your account generates $8,000 in growth per year. You just increased your spending by $16,764. Your investments aren't covering your lifestyle inflation, not even close. You're burning through your compound interest and then some. But it doesn't feel like you're going backwards, because your balance is still six figures, still looks impressive, you're still contributing to your 401k, you're still being responsible. This is the upgrade trap. You have enough money to justify spending more, but you don't have enough money for that spending to be harmless. And here's where it gets worse. The world around you changes the second your account hits six figures, because the banks can see your balance, and they know exactly what to do with it. Let me show you what your bank's algorithm flagged about you the day you crossed 100,000. Account balance, 100,000 plus. Check. Consistent deposits? Check. Low debt-to-income ratio? Check. Credit score, 700 plus? Check. Profile classification? Premium target. You didn't get upgraded to preferred customer because their bank likes you. You got upgraded because their algorithm identified you as exploitable. You have enough money to afford their premium products, but not enough to see through them. Within 2 weeks of hitting six figures, watch what lands in your inbox. A premium credit card offer, metal card with your name engraved, airport lounge access, 3 times points on travel and dining, annual fee, $495. Sounds good until you do the math. To break even on that annual fee with 3% cash back, you need $16,500 a year on that card. That's $1,375 a month. If you're spending $16,500 a year on travel and dining, you're not gaming the system. The system is gaming you. But you won't realize that, because the offer makes you feel successful, like you finally made it to the level where premium cards make sense. Next comes the personal line of credit offer, $50,000 available, interest rate as low as 7.9%, no specific purpose required. Why would a bank offer you $50,000 in credit when you already have $100,000 in savings? Because they know something you don't. They know that people with six-figure savings accounts are statistically likely to use credit for opportunity purchases, a down payment on investment property, starting a side business, funding a lifestyle upgrade that feels justified. And once you tap that credit line, you're paying interest on money you didn't need to borrow, while your savings sit there earning less than the interest rate you're being charged. You're profitable. To them. This is what the upgrade trap really is. It's not just lifestyle inflation. It's your own brain and the entire financial system working together to convince you that having $100,000 means you should be spending more. And if you fall for it, you're about to discover the second enemy, the one that's invisible until it's too late.
You know what's wild about hitting $100,000? It's the exact moment your brain stops thinking like someone who needs to save money and starts thinking like someone who deserves to spend it. Let me show you how fast this happens. Month 1 after hitting six figures. You're still disciplined, still careful. You hit the number, so you're not changing anything yet. Month 3, you start noticing things. Your car is 12 years old. Your apartment is small. You haven't taken a real vacation in 4 years. You have $100,000. Maybe it's time to finally enjoy some of it. Month 6, you upgrade. Not crazy upgrades, reasonable ones. You move to a nicer apartment. Same neighborhood, just a better unit. Rent goes from $1,400 to $1,900 a month. $500 increase. Totally justifiable for someone with six figures saved. You replace the old car. Not with something flashy, just something reliable that won't break down. A 3-year-old certified pre-owned. $32,000. Financed at 4.5% over 5 years. Monthly payment, $597. You start living a little. Ordering delivery twice a week instead of cooking. Better coffee, a few subscriptions. Premium gym, Spotify, Netflix and Hulu and HBO because you can finally afford not to choose. None of it feels reckless. You're not buying a Rolex, you're not flying first class, you're just finally living like someone who isn't broke anymore. But let's add it up. Rent increase, $500 a month, $6,000 a year. Car payment, $597 a month, $7,164 a year. Lifestyle upgrades, conservatively $300 a month, $3,600 a year. Total annual increase, $16,764. Now here's the part that destroys people. At $100,000 invested, earning 8% annually, your account generates $8,000 in growth per year. You just increased your spending by $16,764. Your investments aren't covering your lifestyle inflation, not even close. You're burning through your compound interest and then some. But it doesn't feel like you're going backwards because your balance is still six figures, still looks impressive. You're still contributing to your 401k, you're still being responsible. This is the upgrade trap. You have enough money to justify spending more, but you don't have enough money for that spending to be harmless. And here's where it gets worse. The world around you changes the second your account hits six figures because the banks can see your balance and they know exactly what to do with it. Let me show you what your bank's algorithm flagged about you the day you crossed 100,000. Account balance, 100,000 plus. Check. Consistent deposits? Check. Low debt to income ratio? Check. Credit score, 700 plus? Check. Profile classification? Premium target. You didn't get upgraded to preferred customer because their bank likes you. You got upgraded because their algorithm identified you as exploitable. You have enough money to afford their premium products, but not enough to see through them. Within 2 weeks of hitting six figures, watch what lands in your inbox. A premium credit card offer, metal card with your name engraved, airport lounge access, 3 times points on travel and dining, annual fee $495. Sounds good until you do the math. To break even on that annual fee with 3% cash back, you need to spend $16,500 a year on that card. That's $1,375 a month. If you're spending $16,500 a year on travel and dining, you're not gaming the system. The system is gaming you. But you won't realize that because the offer makes you feel successful, like you finally made it to the level where premium cards make sense. Next comes the personal line of credit offer, $50,000 available. Interest rate as low as 7.9%. No specific purpose required. Why would a bank offer you $50,000 in credit when you already have $100,000 in savings?
Significant
Because
tax
they know
savings locked
something
away
you
until
don't.
retirement.
They know that people
Or
with six-figure
less savings now,
accounts
but the
are
flexibility.
statistically likely to use credit for opportunity purchases, a down payment on investment property, starting a side business, funding a lifestyle upgrade that feels justified. And once you tap that credit line, you're paying interest on money you didn't need to borrow.
It's a
while your
trade-off.
savings sit there
Significant
earning
tax
less than
savings
the
locked
interest
away
rate
until
you're being
retirement.
charged.
Or
You're profitable.
less savings now,
To them.
but the flexibility.
This is what the upgrade trap really is. It's not just lifestyle inflation. It's your own brain and the entire financial system working together to convince you that having $100,000 means you should be spending more. And if you fall for it, you're about to discover the second enemy, the one that's invisible until it's too late. Look, I get it. You didn't watch this whole video because you love spreadsheets and financial jargon. You watched it because somewhere deep down, you're tired of feeling like you're doing everything right, but still ending up in the same place. Here's the truth. Most people will watch this, nod along, feel motivated for about 12 hours, and then go right back to treating their money the same way they always have. But you're not most people. You made it this far. So here's what I need you to do. Hit that subscribe button, not because I need the numbers, but because every video I make is designed to give you one more piece of the puzzle, one more thing the system doesn't want you to figure out, one more edge that keeps you from spending the next 20 years stuck at the same number, wondering what went wrong. Think of it this way. If this video just saved you from one bad financial decision, one lifestyle upgrade that would have cost you 6 figures over the next decade, then subscribing is the easiest investment you'll ever make. $0, zero risk, just information that actually works. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, Your account balance matters, but what you do after hitting that balance, that's what determines everything. So you avoided the upgrade trap, you kept your expenses low, your account is still growing. But there's a second enemy waiting for you, one that's built into the system itself, the retirement account lock. Let me ask you a question. How much of your $100,000 is actually accessible? Most people who hit six figures for the first time have most of their money locked in retirement accounts. Let's say you have $100,000 total, $80,000 in your 401k, $20,000 in a regular brokerage account. On paper, you're worth $100,000. In reality, you can only access $20,000. That $80,000 in your 401k, you can't touch it without penalties and taxes until you're 59 and a half. And when you do touch it, you'll pay your full income tax rate. So that $80,000 isn't really $80,000. After a 10% early withdrawal penalty and let's say 22% in federal taxes, it's closer to $54,000. Your real accessible net worth isn't $100,000, it's $20,000. And $20,000 doesn't give you options, it gives you a buffer. That's it. Now here's the math nobody shows you. Let's say you max out your 401k from age 25 to age 65. You contribute the maximum every year, let's say $7,000 annually adjusted for inflation. At 8% returns, you retire with approximately $2.3 million. It sounds incredible, right? But you locked that money away for 40 years. 40 years where you couldn't use it to quit a toxic job, start a business, take a year off to care for a sick parent, move to a different city for a better opportunity. You traded 40 years of flexibility for tax savings. Let me show you the alternative math. Same person, same savings rate, but instead of maxing the 401k, they contribute just enough to get the employer match, let's say 5%. The rest goes into a taxable brokerage account. By age 40, they have less in retirement accounts, but they have $200,000 in accessible funds, money they can use right now if they want to change careers, start a business, buy a house without a mortgage. By age 65, because they had more flexibility earlier, they made better career moves, took smarter risks, built more wealth overall. I'm not saying don't use retirement accounts. I'm saying that if 100% of your wealth is locked behind retirement walls, you're not building freedom, you're building a very comfortable prison. Wealthy people understand this. They keep money accessible. They optimize for flexibility, not just tax efficiency. At $100,000, you need to think about the split. How much locked away, how much accessible? Most people get this wrong. They chase every tax deduction and wake up at 45 with $500,000 in retirement accounts and $15,000 in accessible savings. And then the third enemy shows up, the psychological one, the comparison spiral. When you had $20,000 saved, you compared yourself to people with zero. You felt ahead, you felt good. At $100,000, everything changes. You stop comparing yourself to broke people. You start comparing yourself to people with $300,000, $500,000, $1 million, and suddenly $100,000 feels inadequate. Your coworker just bought a house. Your college friend is posting vacation photos from Japan. Your cousin drives a Tesla. Everyone around you seems to be winning, and you're sitting on $100,000 feeling like you're falling behind. This is where people make catastrophic mistakes. They think, I need to catch up. I need to accelerate. So they start doing stupid things with money. They trade options. They dump $20,000 into crypto because someone on Reddit turned $5,000 into $50,000. They invest in their friend's startup because this could be the big one. The data on this is devastating. According to Dalbar's annual study of investor behavior, the average equity fund investor earned 6.8% annually over the last 20 years. The S&P 500 earned 10.2%. That 3.4% gap isn't fees, it's not inflation, it's behavior. It's people getting bored with 8%, people chasing 12% and ending up with 4%, people thinking they can beat professional investors who do this 80 hours a week. You can't, and trying will cost you years of progress. So now you've met all three enemies, the upgrade trap, the retirement lock, the comparison spiral. Most people lose to at least one of them. Many lose to all three. But if you can survive the gap between $100,000 and $150,000 without breaking, something extraordinary happens. Let me show you what changes at $150,000 and why it's the real threshold that matters. Let's talk about what actually makes 150,000 different from 100,000. It's not just 50,000 more dollars. It's a completely different psychological and mathematical threshold. A 2022 research study tracked financial stress levels across different net worth brackets. They found something fascinating. Financial stress dropped at every milestone: 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, 100,000. But there was one point where stress didn't just drop, it collapsed: $150,000. At $150,000 in liquid net worth, people reported stress levels equivalent to households with $300,000. The researchers were shocked. The graph literally flatlined after 150. Why? Because 150,000 is the point where your money starts generating enough passive income to absorb real life without you having to think about it. Here's the math that changes everything. At $100,000 invested at 8%, you generate $8,000 annually in growth. That's $666 per month. At $150,000, you generate $12,000 annually, $1,000 per month. That difference, that extra $334 per month, is the difference between theoretical safety and actual flexibility. $1,000 a month covers a car payment, a surprise medical bill, a last-minute flight home for a family emergency, a month of unemployment while you find something better. For the first time, your investments are producing enough cash flow to absorb chaos without you touching principal or going into debt. But here's the critical part that most people miss. You only get that benefit if you don't spend the $50,000 getting there. If you pull $30,000 out for a down payment on a house, you just cut your monthly passive income from $1,000 to $840. You lost $160 a month in breathing room forever. If you finance a $40,000 car and spend $10,000 upgrading your life, you're back to generating $666 a month while adding debt payments. This is why most people never escape 100,000, not because they can't save more, but because they spend any progress on things that feel like wealth but aren't. So how do you actually get from 100,000 to 150,000 without sabotaging yourself? 3 rules, non-negotiable. Rule number 1, 100,000 is your new zero. That number never goes down unless you're facing genuine survival crisis. Medical emergency? You figure it out without touching the 100,000. Job loss? You cut everything possible before you touch the foundation. Why? Because dropping below 100,000 means resetting compound interest. It means losing momentum. It means starting over. 100,000 is the floor your future stands on. Treat it like bedrock. Rule number 2. Every dollar between 100,000 and 150,000 has one job: growth. Not fun, not lifestyle, not rewarding yourself for being disciplined. Growth, period. That 50,000 goes into investments, boring index funds, nothing speculative, nothing that requires you to be smart or lucky. Every dollar you divert from growth to lifestyle is a dollar that will never compound, and at this stage, compound interest is your only path forward without grinding harder. Rule number 3, lifestyle freeze until 150,000. This is the rule that breaks most people. You're going to want to upgrade. Your brain will scream that you've earned it. You've been disciplined for years. You deserve the nicer apartment, the better car, the real vacation. And you're right, you do deserve those things. But if you take them now, you're stealing from future you, the version of you who could have had comfort and freedom, the version who could walk away from a toxic boss, the version who could take 3 months between jobs without panic. Current you wants comfort. Future you wants options. Choose. If you choose options, you stay boring for 18 to 36 more months. You keep the old car, the small apartment, the non-Instagrammable life. And then, at 150,000, the math flips. Your investments generate $12,000 a year. That's enough to absorb modest lifestyle inflation without killing momentum. You can finally upgrade the apartment without going backwards, replace the car, and still grow wealth. Take the vacation without guilt. Not because you have more money, but because your money is finally working hard enough to protect you from yourself.
This is what the gap between 100,000 and 150,000 teaches you. It's not about the number, it's about whether you can sit with wealth long enough for it to become self-sustaining. Most people can't. They get to 100,000, feel successful, and start spending. But if you can stay disciplined through this phase, 150 becomes 200, 200 becomes 300, 300 becomes $500,000. Not because you got smarter or luckier, because you learned to keep money longer than your impulses wanted you to. Let me show you what this looks like in real life.
Two people, same age, same income, both hit $100,000 at age 32. We'll call them Alex and Jordan. Alex's path. Alex looks at that six-figure balance and thinks, I made it. 10 years of sacrifice. Time to finally live. Month 1. Alex moves to a nicer apartment, 1 bedroom to 2 bedrooms. Rent increases from $1,400 to $1,900 monthly, an extra $6,000 a year. Month 4. Alex finances a newer car, certified pre-owned SUV. $32,000 financed at 4.5% over 5 years. Monthly payment, $597. Total cost over 5 years, $35,820. Month 8. Alex books 2 trips, 1 international, 1 domestic. Total annual travel budget, $6,000. Alex is still contributing to the 401k, still saving technically, still being responsible. But let's track what happens. Year 1. Alex contributes $6,000 to the 401k, market returns 8%, but the lifestyle upgrades eat into discretionary savings. Account ends the year at $106,000. Year 2, same pattern. 1 unexpected expense, a $3,000 emergency dental procedure. Account is at $109,000. Year 3, Alex gets a raise, $5,000 annual increase, but lifestyle expands to match. Nicer restaurants, better gym, streaming services multiply. Account, $112,000. Year 5, Alex's account balance, $121,000. 5 years of work, 5 years of contributions, 5 years of market growth. $21,000 of actual progress. Jordan's path. Jordan looks at the same 100,000 and makes a different decision. This is my baseline. I'm never going below this number again. Everything I do from here has to build on this foundation, not erode it. Jordan keeps the same apartment, $1,400 a month, keeps the same 12-year-old Honda Civic, keeps the same unglamorous lifestyle. Jordan's friends think Jordan is being weird. You have 6 figures and you still live like this? But Jordan isn't being cheap. Jordan is being patient. Every month, Jordan invests the difference. Rent difference, $500 monthly. No car payment, $597 monthly. Minimal lifestyle creep, $300 monthly. Total extra investment, $1,397 monthly. $16,764 annually. Year 1, Jordan's account, $132,000. Year 2, $167,000. Year 3, $206,000. Year 5, $287,000. Same starting point, same market returns, same base salary and raises. $166,000 difference. But the real difference isn't the money, it's what happens in year 6. Year 6, the hostile boss. Both Alex and Jordan get new management at work. Toxic environment, unreasonable demands, constant criticism, Sunday night emails, the kind of job that makes you dread Monday morning. Both want to quit. Alex does the math. $121,000 saved, most of it locked in the 401k. Accessible funds, maybe $30,000. Monthly expenses, $3,200. If Alex quits without another job, the money runs out in 9 months, maybe less with healthcare costs. Too risky. So Alex stays, sends out resumes at night, goes to interviews during dentist appointments, stays miserable for another 18 months before finding an exit. Jordan does different math. $287,000 saved, 40% accessible, monthly expenses, $2,000. Jordan can survive 2.5 years without income. Realistically, Jordan will find something in 3 to 6 months. Jordan gives 4 weeks notice, takes a month off,
thinks clearly about what kind of work actually makes sense, finds a better role at a better company. 1 year later, Jordan is happier and earning 15% more. Alex is still at the toxic job, still looking for the perfect exit opportunity, still stuck. Same talent, same work ethic, completely different lives. Jordan has options. Alex has a nicer apartment and a newer car that's already worth $6,000 less than the loan balance. Fast forward to age 45. Alex has about $230,000 saved. Decent, better than most people. Jordan has $940,000. The gap isn't just money, it's freedom. Jordan can work 4 days a week, take sabbaticals, say no to projects that don't matter, live without the constant low-grade anxiety that most people call normal. Alex is still grinding, still can't say no, still needs every paycheck. Not because Alex is bad with money, but because Alex treated $100,000 like a trophy instead of a foundation.
Here's the truth about $100,000 that nobody wants to hear. It's not wealth, it's not financial security, it's not even close to retirement. $100,000 is potential. It's the minimum amount of money you need to start playing the game where money multiplies itself. But only if you treat it like a beginning, not an ending. Most people hit $100,000 and immediately convert it into lifestyle. They turn their financial foundation into furniture. Nice furniture, comfortable furniture, furniture that makes them feel successful, but furniture that will be worthless in 10 years while the people who stayed boring became millionaires. The gap between $100,000 and $150,000 isn't about money. It's about whether you can resist the desperate urge to look wealthy before you actually are. Can you keep driving the embarrassing car when you could afford better? Can you stay in the small apartment when Zillow keeps showing you what you qualify for? Can you skip the vacation when your Instagram feed is full of people your age in Bali? If you can do that for 18 to 36 months, 150 becomes 250, 250 becomes 400, 400 becomes 700. Somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000, something magical happens. Your investments generate $24,000 to $40,000 annually, $2,000 to $3,300 monthly. At that point, you can finally upgrade your lifestyle and keep building wealth. You can have the nicer place and the freedom, the better car and the options, the vacations and the security. But you only get there by saying no 1,000 times between $100,000 and $150,000. Most people can't do it. They hit 6 figures, celebrate, and start spending. 10 years later, they're still at $120,000, wondering why they feel stuck. Because they never learned what $100,000 to $150,000 was trying to teach them. Wealth isn't about having money, it's about keeping money long enough for it to multiply itself. That's the real difference between people who build wealth and people who just look wealthy. One group treats $100,000 like a floor they'll never cross downward again. The other group treats it like a credit score, something that proves they can afford to spend more. One group becomes financially independent. The other group becomes permanently comfortable and permanently trapped. You get to choose which one you are, but you have to choose now, because the decisions you make in the next 18 months will determine the next 18 years. My name is Finn. Thanks for watching. If this changed how you see money, subscribe. There's more coming. And remember, your account balance matters, but what you do after hitting that balance matters infinitely more.